Welcome to the lecture. I am Priyanka Garaj. Today we will see the topics related to histograms and skewness. Let's start with the topic. So first of all, we will see that what are the quantitative variables. Variables that have the numerical values and we can perform the mathematical operations on variables. Then we can say that variables as the quantitative variables. We have seen in the previous lecture that what are the qualitative variables and what are the quantitative variables are. So these are the examples of quantitative variables, that is height, weight, income, etc. like this. So on the quantitative variables, we can easily calculate mean, median and mode. So what is mean? Mean means the average. So you have to do the summation of all the observations divided by total number of observations. So this is what the formula of mean is. Next comes the median. Median is the middle value. If you have the total number of observations which are odd, then you can easily find out the middle value, that will be your median. But if you are having total number of observations as even, then as a middle value you will get two values. So you have to do the average of that two values, so that will be considered as the median for the even number of observations. Next comes the mode. So what is the mode? The value that occurs most frequently in the data is called the mode. So we have a empirical formula related to mean, median and mode, that is mean minus mode is equals to 3 into mean minus median. Now next we will see that what are the histograms. So this is the definition of histogram. It is the visual representation of the data which can be used to access the probability distribution, or we can say the frequency distribution of the data. Let's understand the histogram with an example. Over here I am having the frequency histogram. So in the input I am having scores and my observations are like this. This is my list of observations. So this is my histogram. On the x-axis I am having my input, that is score. On the y-axis I am having frequency. So always on the y-axis in my histogram there will be frequency, and on the x-axis you will be having your input. So over here you can see that my 1 occurs 2 times. So this is my 1, this is my bar of the 1. So it is occurring 2 times. So I can see my frequency of 1 is 2. So this is my bar 1 and I am showing that my frequency of bar 1 is 2. Next is 2. So how often 2 occurs? 2 occurs 5 times. You can count like this, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So this is my bar of 2 and you can see that frequency of 2, it is showing as 5. In the similar way, we are having the 3, 4 and 5. Let's take the example of 4. You can see over here 4 is occurring 2 times. So my bar of 4 shows the frequency as 2. So this is how my histogram is shown. Over here, I am having the unique values of the observations on the x-axis of the histogram. So this is my list of the observations. My unique values are only 5, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So on the x-axis I will plot only the unique values. But what if the unique values list is so long? So here is the second example. In the input I am having ages, and I am having in my data set the persons who are of the age from 10 to 75. So it is very difficult to write 10 to 75 the complete labels on the x-axis. So what the histogram will do? The histogram will only show a different range. So we will call it as the bins, and bins will be of equal size. So over here I am having the bin, that is starting from 20, then 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and my each bin is of size 10. Why my first bin is of size 20? Because you can see over here my ages start from 10. So this bin starts from 10. So I am having the values like 10 to 20, and then we are having 20 to 30 and then 30 to 40. So my whichever ages are from 0 to 20. So we will call it as the first bin and so on. So over here you can see my age 10. Suppose this is my age 10. It is occurring only one time in the data set. Then from this data set you can observe that your the ages of the people are maximum lies between this bin, that is between 40 to 50, because over here the frequency is highest. You can see over here which number is occurring very frequently, which number is occurring in maximum time. So it is my number 2, because number 2 is occurring very frequently and it is occurring maximum time, that is 5. So over here, my which age is occurring very frequently in the data set, that is my age around 45 to 50, I can say. So this is what my frequency histogram is. Now we have to study the different shapes of the histogram. So this one is the symmetric versus skewed data. My first one is the positive skew, or you can say it as the right skewed. Next one is the bell-shaped, or you can say it as the symmetrical distribution. Third one is the negative skew, or we can say it as the left skewed. Let's understand all these graphs in detail. So my first one is the positive skew, or you can say it as the right skewed. So over here you can see that my mode, what is the mode? The value that is occurring most frequently. So always your pick of the graph will be your mode. So this is my mode. If you calculate the mean and median of this right skewed graph, then you will get that median will, the value of the median will be between mode and mean. So you will get the observation like this, that is mode is less than median is less than mean. And you have to remember this, that is different observations. Over here you can see that mean is greater than median. So this is my right skewed graph. Why it is right skewed? Because I have a long tail over here which is towards right hand side. So it is called as the right skewed graph. Now we will see the next. Next I am having symmetrical distribution, or you can see it as the bell shaped. Why it is bell shaped? Because it is having the curve like this, which is like bell. So for the symmetrical distribution, your mean, median and mode all will be at the same point. So this is my mean, median and mode. All the three are equal for the symmetrical distributions. Next, we will see the negative skew, or we can say it as the left skewed. Why it is left skewed? Because I have a long tail over here which is towards left hand side. So for the right skewed, or we can say it as the negative skew also, you have to remember that the mean, median and mode is like this. That is mean is less than median is less than mode. So remember this, that is mean is less than median for the negative skew. Over here in histogram, always you have to remember that on the left hand side you have the minimum value, suppose it is starting from 0, and on the right hand side you have the highest number of the observations. It means the value which is highest in your observation, and suppose I am assuming that it is 700. So it is applicable for all the histograms that we have previously seen, that is 0 to 700 like this and 0 to 700 like this. So this is my left skewed because I have a long tail towards the left hand side. Now next, see that there are 4 main aspects related to the histograms: shape, center, spread and outliers. So we have to detect that which shape of the histogram is that we have seen previously, left, right and the symmetric one. Then the center, it means the relation between mean and median. Then we have to calculate the spread. In that we will consider the range and the outliers. Outliers means the data points that fall far from the bulk of the data. What is outliers? We will see in the next slides. So the first one is the adult male heights. This is my histogram of the adult male heights. You can see over here your histogram is somewhat like bell shaped like this. So we will say the shape of this histogram is bell shaped. Next is the center. As it is bell shaped, so I have mean and median both are equal. So it will be somewhere over here, that is around 68, you can say. It will be somewhere over here, that is mean and median. Then comes the range. What is range? It is the maximum value. Suppose over here my maximum value is 75. In graph, you can't see it clearly. So I'm assuming that my maximum value is 75 and my minimum value is 62. So my range will be 75 minus 62, that is 30. And there are, suppose, no outliers, because over here there are no data points which are far from the different data points. So I will say that there are no outliers. Now let's see all these things together. So putting it all the things together, that is the distribution of the adult male heights is roughly bell shaped with the center of around 68 inches and range is 13 inches and no apparent outliers. So from this graph I can see that in my adult male graph, all the persons are the senior citizens, because age is starting from 62 and have the maximum age of 75. So in my data set, all the senior citizens data are present over here. Next is the salary in the San Francisco. So it is the data set from 2011 to 2014. This data set you can find from the kaggle.com. So from that data set, this histogram is plotted. So what this histogram is telling, that in my data set, the datas are present. So my x-axis is showing the salary, my y-axis is showing the frequency. So over here you can see that these are the salaries, different salaries. So my most of the peoples in my data set having the salaries which is around between 2 to 200,000. And there are very few peoples who are having salary as $600,000. So the average salary in the San Francisco, you can say it is around 0 to $200,000. So these are the average salary because it is showing the maximum frequency. The mode is somewhere over here. So these are the average salary you can see. So this is what information you are getting from the data set. So talking about now shapes. So which type of shape it is of the histogram? So it is right skewed because I am having long tail towards the right hand side. So I will tell as the right skewed. As it is right skewed, so I am having the mean is greater than median. If I talk about the spread, then my maximum value is $600,000 and my minimum value is $0. So I will get the range as $600,000. Now I am talking about the outliers. So outliers are some data points which are away from the different data points. So these are my general data points. My average is maximum over here. Suppose there is one data point, but it is not visible over here because that is only one point. So suppose over here, one person is having the salary around $600,000. Then this will be my outliers. This will be my outliers because there are very few people who is having the salary $600,000. So we will call it as the outliers. So we are telling that outliers are present at the high end. Always my left hand side will be low end and always my right hand side will be high end in my x-axis of the histograms. Now let's see another example. Suppose these are my exam scores. So what this histogram is telling? First we will see the shape. So what is the shape of the histogram? The shape of the histogram is left skewed because I am having a long tail towards the left hand side. So my mean will be less than median because my graph is left skewed. If I am talking about the range, then my maximum value is 100 and minimum value is suppose 15 over here. It is not showing exactly, but you can get the exact idea if you are having the data. But these are the general ideas that we are taking from the graphs. So suppose my range is 85 and where my outliers are present, over here my outliers are present on the lower end part. So below 50 points, my outliers are there. So these are some of the points which are away from the majority of the points. So we will call it as the outliers. Now we will see that what this graph is telling. This graph is showing the exam scores of the different students. So on the x-axis I am having the score, on the y-axis I am having the frequency. Then you can see over here, your mode is somewhere over here. So the 85, suppose this line shows the score as 85. So there are maximum students who is getting the score as at 85. Then other students are getting score that is between the range of, suppose this is 70. So maximum students are getting score which is around 70 to 90 like this. There are only few students who is getting score 100 on 100, and there are only few students who is getting failed. That is, who is getting only 15 marks out of 100. So I will call this part as the outliers. So from this frequency distribution, you can identify that these scores of the students are very good in comparison to some other universities. So if you want to compare, then you can compare like this. So this is what the graph is telling. So over here, you can also identify the student who are scoring the marks as 50, they are also less, but those who are scoring the marks as 70, they are high compared to the students who are score marks as 50. So over here you can see the students who are scoring marks as 85 is more than 150 students. So this is how your histograms tells that how your data looks like. Next we will see the implementation part, that how the histogram is plotted